You guys are really ready. So what's helpful is to learn some passages from shastra. So when you're young, it's really easy to learn things. And one of the books that's very important is called Isopanishad, as you know. And so I think if we say it regularly together, then you'll start learning it. What do you think? Yeah. What is your opinion? Here, bring some microphones. I want to see if get a few opinions.
Hello.
Yeah. Would you like to make a speech? Regarding learning the Isopanishad, I would like to hear 3 opinions from this. Okay, 1, 2. Who else would like to give their opinion about whether it's a worthy cause, and if so, why? 1, 2, 3. Okay, go ahead. Give us your opinion.
Yes.
Yes, what?
I wanna learn it.
You want to learn what?
Isopanishad.
Why?
Because learning shastra always makes my knowledge better, and it makes me go forward in Krishna consciousness.
It makes you what?
It makes my knowledge better, and I have more knowledge, so I can go forward in Krishna consciousness.
Okay, I like that. It's a good idea. Who else has an opinion? You have an opinion?
Wait,
you raised your hand. She has an opinion. She's ready to go.
I think I would say yes, so that if I learn it, maybe it might help me in the future. Like, if I need it in the future.
Yeah, you might need it in the future. Because, think of one place you might need it. What if one day we ask you to give a Bhagavad Gita class?
Yeah.
Could you use it then?
Mm-hmm.
What if one day some pundit came here on a horse called the Digvijay Pundit, and he wanted to debate? And what if that pundit said, ultimately God is just light? You could turn into Jiva Goswami if you know the shastra, right?
Yeah.
So what if the pundit comes on a horse and he challenges all the kids to a debate, and everyone chooses you, and you sit forth and you're going to debate with the pundit, and the pundit says to you that God is just light? Would you quote from the Sri Isopanishad to defeat him?
Yes.
Which verse would you quote? Nobody say anything. Which verse would you quote?
Maybe I would quote the first sloka, Om Purnamidam Purnat.
The first shloka? Okay. Why would you quote the first shloka?
Because
You mean Om Purnamada Purnamidam? How does that prove that God's not just light?
actually,
You could do it. There's nothing wrong with that. But I'm thinking of a better one. Are you thinking of a better one? Go ahead. Give him the microphone. Which verse would you quote from Sri Isopanishad to defeat the Digvijay Pandit who came here on a horse, and he wanted to debate with you, and he said God is only light? And you would say what verse?
I actually don't know about Sri Upanishad, so I you give it to someone else, and then I'll.
Okay, that's fair. Now I'm going to demonstrate something. There's a lot of devotees right over here that were your age not too long ago. Some of them a little older than you when they first started Youth Jam. But they learned the Sri Upanishad. And let's see if we ask them if they knew which verse it is. Because I have a feeling that they have a verse right in their mind where they could defeat a Mayavadi who says God is only light. Okay? Avantika will do it.
Hiranmayena patrena satyasya pihita mukham tattvam pushana pavrinu satya dharmaya dhishtaye. And the reason it would defeat the Mayavadis is because it says, "Oh my Lord, please remove your dazzling effulgence from your face." So emphasizes that he has a face and is not just light. He actually has a physical form.
Digvijay Pandit defeated. So you'll be able to do that next, right? When we learn the Isopanishad. So if somebody says God is only light, we say, no, we're going to quote from the original Vedas, from the Upanishads, and we're going to tell you a verse that proves that God has a face. Does that sound like a good idea? What's the verse number? 15. Verse 15. Everybody note that, okay? So let me ask you a question. Would you like a quick quiz? Ready? If Digvijay Pandit comes here on a horse and wants to debate with one of you, and he says God is only light, which verse number would you pick from the Isopanishad? Yes? Yes? Correct. 100%. Yes? Correct. You get 100%. Yes? Which verse number? 15. 100%. 15? Correct. 100%. Correct. 100%. Correct. 100%. Correct. 100%. Correct. 100%. Correct. 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 Everybody passes. Plus, we're going to throw in extra 1,600 on your SAT. Just for knowing that. You could pick any university you want to go to now. Just for knowing that one question. Okay, so we should learn the Isopanishad because it has all the logic and information about Krishna that we need. So are you ready? Okay. Let's sing it together. We have a slight problem is the projectors aren't on. In the meantime, we're going to sing the Hamsadwani tune to get ready. We won't have to. We're ready now. Ready? Are we going to do it to that tune? Maybe not. Here we go. Okay, everyone who said 100%, give 100% attention to this, and it'll be like a deep meditation for you to sing these together. And if you can't quite see it or read it perfectly, just listen, because in the old days, the way that young people learned these Sanskrit verses is just by hearing them. They didn't have PowerPoint back then. You know that? They didn't even have light bulbs. Here we go. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnam Udachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Ishavasya Midam Sarvam Yakincha Jagatam Jagat Tena Tena Bunjita Magrida Kasisitanam Kurvaneve Karmani Jiji Visheshatam Samaha Evam Tvainam Niketosti Nakarma Lipitena De Asuya Namate Loka Andhena Tamasavritaha Tamste Kritya Vikachanti Yeke Chatma Anojanaha Ane Jadikam Manasoja Viyo Naina Deva Abnuvam Purvamarshat Tattavatunyamate Titishtat Asminapo Matarishvadadati Tadejati Tanajati Tadule Tadvantike Tadantarasya Sarvasya Tadu Sarvasya Sapayataha Yastu Sarvani Bhutani Atmanyeva Nupashyati Sarva Bhuteshu Chatmanam tato na vijigupsate. Yasmin sarvani bhutani atmaiva vijanataha tatra ko mohakashoka ekatvam anupashyataha saparya gachukram makaya mavranam asnaviram shudham apapavitham Kavir manishi paryabu swayambhur Yathatyakya tortam yadadha shasvatibhya samabhyaha Andam tama pravishyanti ye vidyam upasate Tato huya ivate tamo Yahu vidyayam rataha Anyareva vidyaya Anyarahur avidyaya iti shushu madhirana yenasta vidyachire vidyam cha yas tadvedo bhayam saha avidyayam rityum tirtva vidyayam rityum ashnute andam tama pravishyanti Ye sambuddhi upasate tato buddhya ivate tamo yahu sambuddhyam rataha anyarevahu sambhavat anyarahur asambhavat iti shushu madhirana yenastad vichachakshire sambuddhim cha vinasham cha Yastad Vedo Vayam Saha Vinashena Vrityum Tirtva Sambutyam Vrityum Ashnute Viranmayena Patrena Satyasya Pihitam Mukham Tattvam Pusham Napavrinu Satya Dharmaya Drishtaye Pushanye karshe yamasurya prajapatya yuharashmin samuha tejo yate rupam kalyanatamam tate pashyami yosavasau purushasohamasmi vayu anilam amritam atedam vashvantam shariram Om Kratos Smara Kritam Smara Kratos Smara Kritam Smara Agnenaya Supataraya Sman Vishvani Deva Vainani Vidvan Yuyodhyasma Shruharana Neno Uyishtante Namahuktim Videma Shri Isopanishad Sampurnam Hare Translations. You ready to read the translations together? Yes. Neatness counts. Or ache. The personality of Godhead is perfect and complete, and because He is completely perfect, all emanations from Him, such as this phenomenal world, are perfectly equipped as complete wholes. Whatever is produced of the complete whole is also complete in itself. Because He is the complete whole, even though so many complete units emanate from Him, He remains the complete balance. Everything animate or inanimate that is within the universe is controlled and owned by the Lord. One should therefore accept only those things necessary for himself, which are set aside as his quota, and one should not accept other things knowing well to whom they belong. One may aspire to live for hundreds of years if he continuously goes on working in that way, for that sort of work will not bind him to the law of karma. There is no alternative to this way for man. The killer of the soul, whoever he may be, is enter into the planets, knows the worlds of the faithless, full of darkness and ignorance. Although fixed in his abode, the personality of Godhead is swifter than the mind and can overcome all others running. The powerful demigods cannot approach him. Although in one place he controls those who supply the air and rain, he surpasses all in excellence. The Supreme Lord walks and does not walk. He is far away, but he is very near. He is within everything, and yet he is outside of everything. He who sees systematically everything in relation to the Supreme Lord, who sees all living entities as his parts and parcels, and who sees the Supreme Lord within everything, never hates anything or any being. One who always sees all living entities as spiritual sparks, in quality one with the Lord, becomes a true knower of things. What then can be illusion or anxiety for him? Such a person must factually know the greatest of all, the personality of Godhead, who is unembodied, omniscient, beyond reproach, without veins, pure and uncontaminated, the self-sufficient philosopher who has been fulfilling everyone's desire since time immemorial. Those who engage in the culture nescient activities shall enter into the darkest region of ignorance. Worse still are those engaged in the culture of so-called knowledge. The wise have explained that one result is derived from the culture of knowledge, and that a different result is obtained from the culture of nescience. Only one who can learn the process of nescience and that of transcendental knowledge side by side can transcend the influence of repeated birth and death and enjoy the full blessings of immortality. Those who are engaged in the worship of demigods enter into the darkest region of ignorance, and still more so to the worshippers of the impersonal Absolute. It is said that one result is obtained by worshipping the supreme cause of all causes, and that other result is obtained by worshipping what is not supreme. All this is heard from the undisturbed authorities, who clearly explained it. One should know perfectly the Supreme Godhead Sri Krishna and his transcendental name, form, qualities, and pastimes, as well as the temporary material creation with its temporary demigods, men, and animals. When one knows these, he surpasses death and the ephemeral cosmic manifestation with it, and in the eternal kingdom of God, he enjoys its eternal life of bliss and knowledge. O my Lord, sustainer of all that lives, your real face is covered by your dazzling effulgence. Kindly remove that covering and exhibit yourself to the pure devotee. O my Lord, O primeval philosopher, maintainer of the universe, O regulating principle, destination of the pure devotees, well-wisher of the progenitors of mankind, please remove the effulgence of your transcendental rays so I can see your form of bliss. You are the eternal supreme personality of Godhead, like unto the sun as am I. Let this temporary body be burned to ashes, and let the air of life be merged with the totality of air. Now, my Lord, please remember all my sacrifices, and because you are the ultimate beneficiary, please remember all that I have done for you. O my Lord, as powerful as fire, omnipotent one, I offer you all obeisances, falling on the ground at your feet. O my Lord, please lead me on the right path to meet you. And since you know all that I know, please lead me on the right, so that I know who you wish to know. Isopanishad ki. And now we're going to sing together. Ready? And then what do you think we're going to sing? Do you think it will be Hare Krishna? Now, do you think that's a good idea? Why? Yes? Here, give her the microphone. Give us an exposition on the power of the holy name in the age of Kali Yuga. And quote shastra. Tech support on aisle 1.
So we can purify ourselves from the lap of Maya.
Very good. Now, quote of a Sanskrit verse that talks about that. Call a friend. Anybody? A friend want to help out? Give her a verse just to start with. Give him a mic too so she can finish it. Give her another one. Can we have like 5 or 10 more mics out here, please? We only have 1 for everybody now? 2 only? 3? That's it? No, you keep it. Okay, tell her the beginning of it.
Okay, the verse I'm thinking of starts with Harir Nama.
Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nameva Kevalam, Kalau Nasteva, 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 Gatiranyata. So what she said was, the holy name can purify you, and then she said, from the laugh of Maya. So give a verse that tells how the holy name is purifying. I'll give you a hint. Everybody knows the verse. It's from the Shikshashtakam. Who knows the Shikshashtakam? Raise your hand. Okay, say the first verse of the Shikshashtakam. Give her the mic. Starts with a C, with a CH sound like all C's in Sanskrit.
Chetu darpanam arjanam bhava mahadav agni nirvapanam shreya keve vichannidka vikranam vidyavadi jivanam anandam buddhi vardhanam pratipadam purnam vitasvadanam sarvatma sapanam param vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam.
Bravo. Now, don't turn off the mic. Don't turn off the mic. Tell us which part of that verse explains that the holy name is purifying. I'll give you a hint. It uses a metaphor. What's metaphor? What's the metaphor? Look, I'm going to act it out, and then you tell me what it is, okay?
Washing your hair.
What am I doing?
Washing your hair.
Okay.
Mirror.
Okay, now tell us. What about a mirror? What's the metaphor? What is a metaphor? What's a metaphor? Read the definition again. It means when you say something, you give a comparison, something is something else. So your mind is a...
Metaphor. Mirror.
You say the word when I point.
Mirror.
No, this is not mirror. What's this?
Mine.
Okay, so what about the mind being a mirror? What's the example? You want to explain it?
The mind is the mirror, and then
Okay, I'll give you more clue. Watch me.
Mind. Cleaning. Oh. Cleaning.
Okay, give him the mic.
The mind.
He said it first.
Clean the mind.
He said it first. Well, slow down. Take a deep breath. Sit like a yogi. Now, explain what Lord Chaitanya is saying in the Shikshashtakam.
He's saying that we have to cleanse the mind, which is like a mirror.
Very good. Bravo. So that's what you said. You said we have to purify ourselves. And then you also said something about from the lap of Maya. So you put that all in one sentence. So what about the lap of Maya? Tell me where that's from. You know where it's from? You know where it's from? Give her the mic.
It's the first verse of Jiva Jago.
Very good. This is very good. Okay, sing it.
Jiva Jago, Gaura Chandra Bole, Gota Nidra Jao Maya, Pisachi Rakole.
Do you know Bengali? Do you know what that verse means that you just sang?
Yeah, so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying, wake up, sleeping souls, get up from the lap of Maya. Yeah.
How long are you going to sleep there? He wants to know, right? Are you going to stay there? Are you going to sleep in today? Right, very good. So we've gotten some solid reasons why to chant Hare Krishna. But what's important, you want to know what's important?
Yes.
Okay, only 3 people. Everyone else cover your ears. When you make a philosophical point, you have to back it up by giving evidence. Where do you get your evidence from?
Shastra.
So when you make a point, make your point and then know the shastra. So that's a good reason to learn these verses, because then you can quote from them. You know who else has to back up what they say? A lawyer. When you go into court, any of you going to be lawyers?
No.
Yeah? That's great. So when you go into court, you can't just say, I think this person's guilty. You have to give a legal theory from the books, from the law books, and you say, because of this precedent set in a previous law, this is why my theory is, my legal theory, you have to tell the judge why that you think the person's guilty. Otherwise, you're not accepted in court. So in a spiritual gathering, when you make a point, you have to back it up with the law books. What are the law books?
Shastra. Shastra.
Okay, 5 people, Shastra.
Shastra. Shastra. Shastra. Shastra. Shastra. Shastra. Shastra.
That's right. He's Shastra Sar Prada, which means that he distributes the Shastra. He gives the essence of the Shastra, right? So you have to learn all the Shastras. Which Shastras are you going to learn? You name 5 that you're going to learn this year.
Isopanishad.
You're going to learn the whole Bhagavatam? Yeah? You must be Shukadev Goswami. Okay, what else? Bhagavad Gita. And Nectar of Instruction. How about Nectar of Instruction?
Yeah.
So we'll learn the Isopanishad and Nectar of Instruction. What is your opinion?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so that was about a 3 out of a scale of 1 to 10.
Yeah!
Good. Very good. Utsahan. Now we're going to sing Hare Krishna because we know why. And I don't know, I was thinking about if we did that. We never actually sung the Within You, Without You, like at a mela anywhere. What is your opinion? Yeah? Go for it? Let's try it now. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Everybody now. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna And now we're going to sing some Bengali. Right? Because living entities just want to have fun. Radha Krishna Bol. Because there are many different levels of realization of the Supreme. Would you like me to list some of them? Yes. There's Annamoy. Annamoy means that your main relationship with Krishna. By the way, you guys, this is going to be on the quiz, on your SAT. Annamoy means your relationship is through tasting some food. Like who in the world, that's their only sense, probably. How about the plankton? Does anybody know where the plankton are? Yeah, where are they? She's studying oceanography, biology. Go ahead and tell us.
They're tiny organisms that are in the sea.
In the sea?
Yeah.
Can you say anything more about the sea? Or plankton? Who eats them?
Well, a lot of stuff.
Whales. Whales eat them. They just sit there and they eat. They have a relationship with God through eating. And in pranamoy, there's a sense of just existing, being alive. And then jnanamoy, when you start to realize that actually I am alive. And then anandamoy, when you realize that there's a source for your life. And then those who come into this idea that there's a supreme. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, it's rare that people have a refined idea. Most people think God is light and that there's just some impersonal force. Some people, they believe in the spirit because they perceive that there's a great spirit everywhere. Who talked about the great spirit? Who said? Yes? Give a little talk on it. Did you study the indigenous people?
Yeah, the Native Americans said there was a great spirit that maintained everybody.
Yeah, so do we. Nityo Nityanam Chaitanas Chaitananam. We have a sense of the great spirit, all pervading force, right? And then what comes above the great spirit? Paramatma. Then comes Bhagavan. That God has his own life in the spiritual world. He has his own enjoyments, he has his own town, he has his own people, and he has his own lover, Srimati Radharani. And this Radha Krishna realization is a very refined realization, but it's the source of all happiness, all bliss, to come to realization of Radha and Krishna. And in this age of Kali Yuga, the means that one can come there is by taking the path of Lord Chaitanya. Because Lord Chaitanya is Radha and Krishna combined. It's Krishna coming to taste his own the happiness of his own devotee, Srimati Radharani. So it just so happens when you worship Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then you'll come to understand Shri Radha and Krishna, and you'll attain the perfection of life. For 10 points, how many people want to attain the perfection of life? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, very good. So now this song, Radha Krishna Bol, is written by one of the greatest devotees who ever lived, named Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. He brought the teachings of Lord Chaitanya to the world. And here it's asking everybody to chant Radha Krishna, because that's the highest realization, right? True or false? True or false? Say true. 10 points. Say true. 10 points. Say true. 10 points, 10 points, 10 points. Okay, shall we try it? You don't really want to do it, huh? You're not into it? All right, here we go. Radha Krishna Bol Bol Bolare Shobha. Shishi Radha Krishna Bol Bol Bolare Shobha. You gotta sing this one, come on. Hari Bol, Bolo Re, Shikariya. Radha Krishna Bol Bol, Bolo Re Shobha. Come on. Shishi Radha Krishna Bol Bol, Bolo Re Shobha. Jai Maya Boshe Jacho Beshe Kacho Habu Dubu Bai Habu Dubu Habu Dubu Habu Dubu. Sing it again. Jai Maya Boshe Jacho Beshe Kacho Habu Dubu Bai. Hari Bol, Bolo Re Miche Maya Boshe. Radha Krishna Bol Bol, Bolo Re Shobha. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Bol Bol, Bolo Re Shobha. Hey, Krishna Das, hey Vishwas, Bole To Arju Go Nai Ji. Hari Bol, Bolo Re Ji, Krishna Das. Radha Krishna Bol Bol, Bolo Re Shobha. Sing it now, come on, don't be afraid. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Bol Bol, Bolo Re Shobha. Krishna bolne jabe, pulakka habe, jor bhi anki boli kai. Okay, you can get ready now. Krishna bolne jabe, pulakka habe, bole Here we go. Come on now. One more time. Everybody. Jai Sakal Vipa. Hari Bol. Jai Sakal Vipa. the Dham is so nice because when you go there, you'll automatically remember Krishna. You'll see people going to the temples, and then you remember moving about in the world is really meant to go see Krishna. We have legs. Why we have legs? To walk to the temple, to walk to the different holy places and see Krishna. And some places when you go in and you offer your obeisances, then you'll see Krishna in his beautiful lotus eyes, and then you'll remember him always. Something will go into your heart. Krishna shoots the arrows of flowers. And those arrows of flowers go into the hearts of the devotees, and then they stay there. So the cultivation of the heart is the purpose of this human life. It's meant to awaken that beautiful and intense love that we naturally have for Krishna, but which now we're diverting into Krishna's external energy. And the Dham is the place where you can feel that I'm at home here. This is the eternal place of Krishna's pastimes. When you chant, you feel there's nothing else to do. And when you walk to the holy places and you take the labor to go from one place to another, you feel satisfaction from the effort that you took. So one of the 5 main limbs of bhakti that assures success, even if you're just a little connected with them, is living in a holy place or visiting a holy place and cultivating that attachment for it so that you carry it with you always in your heart. So if you mark off your schedule every year, I'll go to the Dham and I'll spend some time there. It's expensive. You got to pay a lot of money, but you also have to pay a lot of money for a dishwasher. If you want termite inspection on your $5 million house, that'll cost you a lot too. But the main reason we have resources is to use in Krishna's service. And the main reason we have time, which can run out at any moment, is to use in Krishna's service. So it's important to schedule in the 5 most important aspects of devotional service. Take time to chant Hare Krishna with no other distraction, no other thoughts even. Just chant and be in trance in the chanting of the holy name, and know that it's already vetted by great souls. So what if you don't have a taste? Just do it anyway because you trust that there's people that are highly advanced and who recommend it, and that if you do it and they see you, then they'll be pleased. And if they're pleased, then you'll advance in devotional service. Shushusho Shodadhanasya Vasudeva Kataruchi Syan Mahat Seveya Vipra Punya Tirtana Shevana. And then you have to read Srimad Bhagavatam. Fortunately, we have it all. If you want to read Krishna book over and over again, all that'll happen is your life will become perfect. And you'll think of Krishna all the time. And you also learn all the lessons of life that most people learn the hard way. Just like in the story of the Shamantaka jewel. It's the most convoluted chapter of any in the Krishna book, isn't it? The Shamantaka jewel. I mean, it's crazy what happens in that story. Krishna gets defamed twice and has to get his reputation back. People get killed. Shatadanva goes and kills Satyajit and tries to run away from Krishna and Balaram. That's going to work. Gets his head chopped off. Then Akura, who's a pure devotee, he gets implicated in the whole thing and heads off to Benares, starts giving away mounds of gold produced from the jewel. Then he gets embarrassed when he comes back and Krishna makes him reveal that he had the jewel. There's so many things happen in that story. Krishna married Satyabhama, fought with Jambavan. And at the end of the story, the acharyas say that we can learn from this also what a trouble it is to try to hold on to a jewel here in this world. Produces all this gold and then look at everything that happened. So we can learn from reading Srimad Bhagavatam, like I can be satisfied just with Krishna Katha. And then we have association with devotees. When we associate with devotees, then we get natural enthusiasm for doing devotional service. Because it's really easy to become unenthusiastic, isn't it? All it takes is a couple hours, a few phone calls, a few letters in the mail, a few window letters, say how much you owe, show how much you don't have to pay, whatever it may be. But when we associate with devotees and we notice that they're always enthusiastic, and we see how Krishna takes care of his devotees, then we can not be afraid of the material nature. We just take shelter of the Sangha. Then worshiping the deity. Tonight, I have to say that this team who makes these garlands, I feel really fortunate I got this garland. As I have to say, when I came here and I saw that garland, it matched perfectly with the outfit. Did you notice that? Yeah. And then there was a string, there was a very delicate garland of flowers that coming down, and Srimati Radharani was holding in her hand. And then the outfit, it's an amazing outfit. And then this, somehow these devotees are getting a genius to make these, but it matched perfectly to the outfit. Now I've got it. I'm taking it home. And so... No, most people don't have any image of God. All over the world, millions of people, they worship God. It's natural for humans to worship God, but people don't have an image to look at. In fact, they'll shun any image. They say, oh, you can't make an image of God. We have more information that comes from Srimad Bhagavatam about what he looks like, what he wears, what his pastimes are, and so forth. So having the benefit of deity worship, to be able to actually come and see the smiling face. Lord Kapila Dev says, the devotees, they enjoy this. They come to the temple, they smell the incense, they ring the bell, they feel liberated. In fact, he said Prabhupada writes, they're imperceptibly liberated just by coming to the temple. And tonight, when we're standing with so many devotees here packed in the hall, bless everyone's heart who came here from all over Silicon Valley just to see Krishna and chant and dance, and everyone's eyes, mind, hearts focused on seeing the deity. And if you can just see Sri Sri Radha Madan Mohan, then there's nothing else to see in the world. All the news, all the different forms, grotesque actually, the way people, there's no subtlety in it anymore. There's no aesthetic in the world that's very pleasing to the eye. It's just gross. But when you see the beauty of Krishna and Radha and all the beautiful ornaments that they're wearing, then the heart can become pacified, mind can become attracted. And Sri Sri Radha Madan Mohan can actually attract us away from the glare of the material world, and then we become liberated souls. So this is our life, and this is what's been bequeathed to us, passed down from Srila Prabhupada, all the way from Krishna, from the very beginning. He wanted this for us, this whole process, and it's his process that he's passed down specifically for us. So we could take full advantage of this and then try to take it door to door, because people are really suffering. They don't have an idea of how to enjoy life. Most people watch television or they look at a movie. I hate to break it to anybody, not in this room, but if anybody's listening around the world, there is no happiness in that. It's the same old thing over and over again. Same old sad story. People write stories, but they don't write about Radha Krishna. They don't write about the pastimes in the spiritual world, so it's never satisfying. You can watch this story, that story, even plays. It doesn't satisfy you ultimately, but if you hear Radha Krishna Leela, then you'll become satisfied. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave us that, and we should give it to other people. Distribute the Krishna book, distribute the Srimad Bhagavatam. They may not read it now, but somebody will pick it up and say, this is the most extraordinary literature in the world. And we're the ones distributing it on behalf of Srila Prabhupada. Dear Srila Prabhupada, dear Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Shri Shri Panchatattva, Shri Shri Radha Madan Mohan, Shri Shri Lakshmi Nrsingadev, and soon to be Prahlad, who will be standing before Lakshmi Nrsingadev's altar. We're making an arrangement. If you so desire, please empower us to always stay close to the 5 most important aspects of devotional service. And please give us enthusiasm to go door to door, to give it to as many people as possible. And please let us rejoice every time somebody slams the door in our face. Thank you for considering our request. Om Tat Sat. Everyone who agrees with this prayer in whole or in part, please unmute and say Hare Krishna. Vanchakalpadurusha, Kripasindavevacha, Patitanam, Pavanibhyo, Vaishnavibhyo, Namo Namaha.